Bearcat Bounce podcast. Back at it again. Monday following 2 wins Monday. How about that? 2 wins for the basketball program. That's right. Dayton Flyers, UD, taken down at Fifth Third Arena. Mount St. Mary's, the Mount, taken down at Fifth Third Arena. 2 wins, 1 loss. 1 loss for the football program. But big noon kickoff Saturday, Monday. Big noon kickoff. Dave Portnoy, what Pizza Place 9.8. 9.8 is what we rate the BBP. Not a perfect 10 because Ryan Royer is not present again. But Monday as well. Nip at Night back Monday. But it's basketball. Basketball is also kicking up in full gear. Massive game Friday night, Louisville. Massive guest tonight, BBP Monday. So without further ado, Aaron Smith, Chad Brundle, Zach Tobler, the man himself, Tobler time himself. Gentlemen, how are we?
I was waiting for Tobes to go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm amazing. Can't be better.
Here we go. Chad, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. Not a lot to this week. A lot of sports this weekend. It was sleep and sports.
Yep.
That's pretty much how this weekend went. So not many stories to tell. Just ready to rock and roll.
You know, those nooners, those are interesting. Get them out of the way, but tough when it's an L, and then a Sunday night basketball game on top of it. Sheesh.
Yeah.
That makes for a weekend devotion right there.
I hit up yesterday. There's a new butcher out in Union, Kentucky.
I've been meaning to go there. It's 2 minutes from my house.
No way.
So I checked it out yesterday.
Was it good?
I got some steaks. We're going to cook them tomorrow night because I obviously weren't going to be able to do them last night because of the game. And then tonight because of this. So we're doing the steaks from the strip on tomorrow night, but I'm excited, Tobes. They have their own like seasoning blends. And I have like literally the entire, you know how like next to your stove, you've got the cabinet up top, and then you've got 2 cabinets on the sides.
Yep.
That's all spice blends. All 3 cabinets are all spice blends in the Brendel house. So I got a Santa Fe seasoning that smelled amazing. I put it on my burger tonight. I made a burger tonight. So I'm pretty excited to try it on the steaks tomorrow.
Okay.
And actually,
no free ads.
Pretty good pricing on the steaks, Tobes. I mean, steaks are expensive these days, but they weren't too bad.
Right. Well, that's good.
No free ads. But what's
no free ads? The strip in Union. You want to advertise?
I'll give you a free steak.
There we go.
Let's go. Tell them that Bearcat Journal sent you, and maybe they'll call me and do some advertising. Yeah, they'll be very confused, but it's fine.
I'll say Bearcat who? All right. Oh, that Brendel man. We'll give them a free steak, and then before you know it, they're sponsoring the mailbag over our boy Greg. Come on now, we don't need that here. Aaron, how are we, man?
I'm doing all right. Went down to the game, saw a buddy of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. He was out tailgating, so actually right across, like 5 feet from where Dave's family tailgates. So stopped and saw Dave's dad and gave my best to him to give to Dave's mom, as she's a crazy person and going to already be attending events. I think she went to the basketball game yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Meniscus, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I also met a fan of ours as I was walking out onto the garage floor. So shout out to Joe, who listens to us during his second shift job. He says that we're what gets him through the work days. So thanks, Joe.
Hell yeah. Shouts, Joe. We do give free shouts to Joe. And your second shift.
Does Joe have his own proprietary spice blend?
Oh. Can he can cut a mean meat, I tell you that much. Just butcher it on up for you there. But yeah, all right. Well, Aaron, I'm excited to see you this weekend. Don't dodge me last second. It'll be
Ducking you.
either way.
Dive,
No,
dip.
yeah, you can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a Brent coming
You can
into
dodge
town for
Brent.
two big games, man. I tell you what. But yeah, gosh, it's gonna be wow. Big new kickoff this weekend too. Like, are we gonna have to go there and then like leave for a bunch of hours and then come back? No.
Absolutely not.
I might go home and take a nap. I'm not
Yeah. I mean, we got to check it out. We got Barstool Sports coming to town, not just Dana Beers. We're talking Barstool Sports coming to town. That's
Look, if there wasn't a game Friday night, maybe I would make it over for Big Noon Kickoff. But Aaron and I are going to be working late.
Yeah.
Friday night. I'm not getting up and going to see the.
Keegan did it.
Yeah, Keegan will be there.
Yeah.
I got kids. I'm not even leaving Athens until after
2:00.
So, yeah. So I will not be there. There is 0% chance you will see me at Big Noon Kickoff.
There's also 0% chance you'll see me at Big Noon Kickoff.
I mean, Tobes and I'll be up late on Friday night, just working like this, working that
I'll
out.
be
Exactly.
And I'll probably need a few of those. Get me a good, nice PBR.
At the Holy Grail? No, go to the Holy Grail. Get you some Cincy Lights.
No free ads.
I'll get PBR at the Holy Grail. PBR is at the arena.
Oh, geez, yeah. Do they serve Cincy Lights at Heritage Bank?
No, Holy Grail. Get your fill of Cincy Light.
They have Labatt Blues, I think.
Sneak a few in your pocket.
They used to.
Into Heritage Bank.
I mean, Burger beer there.
Golly, that place, man. I'm excited. To check out Heritage Bank this weekend.
Have you never been there?
I mean, back in the day, I think the Cincinnati Stuff played there back in the day, maybe.
We went there. We took my daughter to Disney on Ice about a month ago or so. It was amazing.
Was that electric?
I was fired up the whole time.
What was the main, like? Was it Frozen? What are we singing out there? Everything.
Yeah, they had that. They did. I think they did some Mickey Mouse stuff. They did some.
Moana,
Lilo and Stitch. I think some Moana. There's kind of a little.
Lilo's hot in the streets these days. That's for sure. Yeah. We got that live action one popping up there on the Plus. No free ads for Disney Plus, but shouts YouTube TV. They finally reached that deal. Everyone can watch everything again. There we go. That's free ads now. One ad that I love is Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Danco Joe, the man, the myth, the legend. I might have to bring my car up from Florida just to take it to Danco Transmission and Auto Care. That's how good of a job he does. Danco Joe. I haven't gotten an oil change since 2 years ago when Danco Joe did it because it's just that good. It's that good. He just knows what he's doing. 100%. I don't suggest that you wait that long. That's why you got to go to Danco Transmission Auto Care. Danco Joe will hook you up. $10 off the next oil change, 10% off your next fixing. Tell him Tobe sent you. Just walk in, say it's Tober time. He'll hook it up. Tell him Chad sent you. Tell him Cincy Light Aaron sent you. And let's get it popping out. Tell him Sean Kilpatrick, Shaq Thomas, numerous alley-oops.
Brent.
Yeah.
Sports. Let's talk sports.
I just said 3 sports names that had big games against Louisville at Louisville when we played them during Zach Tobler's freshman year. So, I was talking sports. But anyway, Danco Transmission, not a care. Danco Joe hooked you up. Let's start basketball because obviously we got Tobler here. 2 wins this past week, weird wins. The Dayton game felt like forever ago, but was one that came out in a W, 74-62. And then, of course, last night, whatever that was against Mount St. Mary's, 72-55. Mount St. Mary's game, because that's the most fresh. Just a weird late Sunday night. I don't know what the weather was, but it seemed a little slow and dreary on the court for at least the first half and a good chunk of the second half. But then a big run to close. I think it was like a 20-5 run to close the game. Huge momentum swing for the Bearcats to close it out with a win. But we're 4 games in, Tobes. I want to pass it down to you immediately and just kind of get your overall thoughts on the makeup of the team, because obviously completely revamped roster. The one returnee who had good playing time last year is kind of looking like he's going to be one of the leaders of the team, if not the leader of the team this year, and that's Day Thomas. He's had back-to-back great games. But as far as you're seeing it, 4 games in, 4 wins, break down what your thoughts are just generalized on this rendition of the Bearcats in 2025.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I think Day is the unquestioned leader of the team. I mean, I know a lot of the guys have been looking to him. I know Wes looks to him to do a whole lot for this team. As a team, there's a lot of individual talent. Now, how it, meshes, gels, and comes together throughout the year, if it does, I think they can have a nice season. That's the $1 million question: is can they come together? I know they've shown flashes of it, but being consistent with it. I know it's only November 17th, so it's not always going to look pretty right now. There's a lot of people, getting upset because they're not winning by 100 against somebody. But, playing a team like Mount St. Mary's, they come in, they're going to play hard. They're a little undersized. So sometimes, when you got a guy like Chom and Baba, who are, 7 foot, 7'2", whatever it is, it can be a little difficult sometimes to guard a more mobile, 6'7", 6'8" guy around there. So it takes some time to get used to playing that style. But I think the talent is there to have a good year, make the tournament, potentially win a game in the tournament. I think that's the goal for this team right now. But whether they can put all their pieces together and stay healthy is what we're going to find out over the next couple months.
How difficult is that meshing that you mentioned? I mean, you can spend a whole off season doing team building activities and things of that sort, but until you get out on the court, you don't really have competition against opposing teams. How long do you think in this new era of basketball it takes for a brand new team to fully mesh?
It can take a while, and sometimes you see a lot of people, a lot of coaches, they don't want one and done guys. They want guys that can be there for multiple years, because you tend to see jumps by second year player in a system. So sometimes that first year, hopefully it can come together a little quicker. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But just meshing different personalities. I mean, yeah, I think on the surface, a lot of these guys seem like good guys. I don't really know them personally at all, but they seem like good guys. So, but you never know until you have them and the bullets start flying. Hey, who's really got each other's back? Who's you saw last night, it was maybe a 10-point game. It might've been around 5 or 6 points at that time. Day jumped 10 feet across the floor to dive on to get a loose ball. I mean, that's the stuff that, that is a winning play. So who are your guys that you can count on day in and day out to make plays like that? That's going to win. That's going to win in February, March again, on the road against Iowa State or wherever you're at. Figuring out who those guys are and going from there.
As far as it goes with the whole brand new roster, rotations trying to be figured out as well, do you like having a player like Buck Harris coming off the bench that can just, most of the times you think off the bench you need a microwave, a scorer that can kind of light it up quick. He comes on the court and he's a defensive menace right away, and then can turn that into points as well. You like his role that he has, and going back to your playing days at UC, who do you think is even comparable defensive wise to the amount of effort that Buck puts in each time on that side of the court?
Yeah, I think he does exactly what Wes and the coaching staff are asking him to do. He comes off the bench and he's maybe not necessarily a microwave in the sense that he's going to come and, get 20 off the bench every time. But every single time he comes in the bench, he comes in with energy. He's getting a steal, driving downhill, trying to get an and-one or something. He definitely changes the pace and the energy that our team plays with when he's out there. So he'll give you that. As far as somebody that can compare him to when I played, I mean, he reminds me a little bit of like a Kevin Johnson type, skinnier, not like built real well. I mean, not that, he's just skinnier, not like big, strong guy, but just athletic 100%. And so quick, plays so quick, plays hard. I thought Kevin could shoot a little better than he can. But they do a lot of things similar defensively.
Yeah.
From an energy perspective, would you compare him to Jack? Like an energy giver?
Yes.
In terms of as soon as he comes on the floor, it feels like everybody's intensity kind of cranks up a little bit.
Yeah, especially Jack, like in his,
early years
when he was coming off the bench, coming in for Yancey or whatever, where he was just like, hey, Mick's like, come in and you just play your ass off defensively, guard and play hard.
I mean, what Titus Rubel's obviously another guy that you had. I mean, early Jake. Yeah. And there's some good defenders.
But he's different, man. He gets after it.
He is. How important is having like the dog mentality, like a handful of guys on the roster that has kind of just that innate ability to go out there and kind of be ultra competitive and can really jazz up the entire team. Chad brought up, JJ when he was with you.
You gotta have that. I mean, that team my freshman year, I mean, you had Jack, you had Titus, and you had SK. Like you had those three guys, and they were like the unquestioned, leaders of the team. And there was not a single day where they go out and they did not play hard. So that you have to have it at some point. I mean, you can't. Somebody has to show that on at least. I mean, I think 4 or 5 guys should at least, but you got to at least have one person that's gonna. And it's not necessarily just on the court, but just holding each other. Somebody to hold each other accountable, like and not like a bad way, like not be a dick about it, but just to if somebody's missing a rotation or they're not, or they're showing up late for a meeting or something, or they're whatever it is, coaches can coach and do their thing and whatnot, but like the best teams always have players that hold each other accountable, and it's not just the coach's voice every single time.
Sometimes you got to be a dick about it.
Sometimes you do. Not all, but sometimes you do.
Right. I think you got to be nice. No, sometimes you got to be an ass. Sometimes a guy needs pinned up against his locker and told to get his shit together.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have enough of that these days, Tobes. Back in my day.
Right. Yeah. Not to be the back in my day guy. I mean, I was only in the, freaking 8 years ago, 10 years ago, or whatever it is in college and high school and whatnot. But it's a totally different world these days, man. The kids are just different. It is what it is.
That's something I wanted to ask you about, actually, is can you imagine playing on a roster that's been reconstructed the way that this roster has been reconstructed? Like to go from you're only playing with 2 guys that you played with last season and all of these new faces, rinse, wash, repeat.
kind of did though, right?
A little bit, yeah. My freshman year coming in, I think a lot of the team was still kind of together. I know Justin's been there a while. Titus was there for 2 years. He was a JUCO guy. SK was obviously there for 5 years. Shaq Thomas was there for a few years, his whole career. So when I came in, I was kind of on the tail end of that group, and then me, Troy, and Kevin. I mean, we played 4 years altogether, but that year there was a lot of turnover. My freshman to sophomore year, there was a lot of turnover in that 1 year. But after that, it kind of felt like there was always, 5 or 6 people that kind of, it didn't feel like it was like the turnover that they have nowadays with it. I mean, it definitely adds a different element because you get used to people, if you're there with them for 2, 3, 4 years, you know where somebody's going to be, what to expect from them. And, nowadays, now when transferring and everything is great. I mean, I think that, I think more should be done for the athletes and stuff. I mean, they should be able to do stuff like that. I mean, do what's best for you, but it does make it difficult on team building sometimes when you can't, you never know who's going to be there, whether they've been there for 2 years, 3 years, and then they can just dip and be gone.
Kind of had 3
real quick.
Yeah.
Do you look at like a CJ Anthony now and you go, man, I wish I would have sat out maybe my last year, gone somewhere and like balled out as a redshirt senior. And CJ's had 20 in 2 of the last 3 games.
Yeah, I saw something about that. He's been doing great. I think.
Are you like, if I'd have went to NKU, like?
Nah, I think it worked out all right for me. That was never a thought in my mind. I loved what, Mick and his staff did for me and everything. So I owe them a lot. So I couldn't,
How about this one? What Ian Shefflin did at Clemson. You play basketball, and then all of a sudden somehow you're able to play one season of football.
No,
the Bearcat will tight end.
Now you're talking.
Okay,
that's more up my alley. But
rush end.
I always say I should have played football. I would have been a lot better football player than I would have been basketball.
Oh, come on.
What would you have played? Would you tight end, defensive end, offensive tackle?
Nah,
you could have been a good tackle.
Yeah, I would have had to gain a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
If I was playing I probably would have ended up being guard. A guard or something like that.
Okay.
But
I mean, you're what, 6'5"?
Yeah. I mean, tackles are like 6'7", 6'8".
They're huge now.
They're
like 10 years ago, 6'5", you'd have been fine.
Monsters. All right.
Now those dudes are monsters.
They are. Yeah, it's out of control.
What I was going to ask you, Tobes, is throughout your career, it's pretty crazy looking at it. Your freshman year, you had Troy, who kind of developed a really big role as a true freshman. Next season, you had Gary, who had a massive role as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
After that, Jake, who carved out a pretty damn big role as a true freshman. Then final year, Jaron carved out a really big role as a true freshman. Yep. This year, it's Sean Abayev is going to have potentially a pretty big role as he continues to grow throughout his season. What do you see from Sean? As it kind of looks like he's pretty game ready. Day one, obviously going to be some freshman hurdles, but what do you see out of Sean Abayev early and what his potential is throughout the year?
I think he's I think he's a guy he'll get better as the season goes on. The more reps he gets, the more feel he gets, just with the college game, playing it bigger court and different players, everything. When he gets used to Wes's system, what he's being asked to do and the comfort in that, he'll just continue to get better. I mean, the scoring is there. I mean, he didn't really play all that well yesterday. I mean, it was 0 for 5 from 3 or whatever, and he still scored 11, 13 points, something like that. I think the biggest thing for him, obviously, I haven't seen it yet, but you miss a few shots. Hey, don't be afraid to take that. You miss 4, don't be afraid to take that 5th one. I mean, I know Wes has given him that green light, it seems like, which I think is good for a younger player like that. He'll figure it out. I think, him is just like when to take some of those shots and when to know your shot's falling and when to know, hey, maybe I should shot fake this and try to get to the rim and get a foul, get to the free throw line, see one go in, and then I know there was a couple threes he took that, maybe he could have got downhill or something like that instead. But he's a freshman in his fourth game. Like you're gonna live with some of that stuff. But his effort's been there. His attitude seems to be there. So I think the sky's the limit for the kid.
Who's been your favorite addition thus far on this team?
My favorite addition? Ooh. I don't know. Going big guy. I like Chom. I think he does a lot of nice stuff. I think they're asking him to do a little bit different stuff than he did at US or UCF or whichever directional Florida school he came from.
Central.
Sure.
Just call it Central.
Right in the middle there.
Yeah.
Middle Florida.
But I think
Middle Florida.
I think all the talent is there with him. It's just like I was saying with Abayev, like it's just really understanding and getting comfortable with what the coaching staff is asking him to do offensively. I mean, I think he's kind of there defensively. He's still figuring it out. I mean, shit, the kid's only supposed to be a freshman right this year. I mean, didn't he skip a grade or something?
Yep.
So he's technically, he played last year, technically a freshman this year by age. So he's getting there, but just his presence defensively and stuff, he just, he's going to figure it out. I think he'll have a really nice year.
With addition to, obviously Mustafa Cham, Baba Miller, Kirk Reese is another heady guard out there who's had the ability to shoot from the outside, and then you have other players off the bench that are 3-point shooters. Last year, this team was a lot of mid-range twos. Obviously, Jizzle was a lot of that. Day kind of had that mid-range two game going a lot. This year, it seems like a lot of 3-pointers and a lot of free throw attempts. It probably a little bit better today's game to kind of be more focused on the threes and free throws?
Yeah, I mean, I know that's what the analytics say. I mean, I know that's what Mick always preached, when I was playing there was, what beats you, wide open threes and other teams getting to the free throw line. If they're getting to the free throw line, means they're getting into the paint. So that's the stuff that kind of beats you. So if you reverse that on offense, what do you want to do? You want to hit threes and you want to get to the free throw line. So I think they've done a nice job of that. It doesn't seem like they've like forced it too much.
Yeah.
I mean, like yesterday, I know Kerr missed a few or quite a few, but it never felt like it was like, why are you jacking shots up? Like they were pretty wide open ones, and they're ones, that we would expect him to make. If you just, for whatever reason, didn't. I mean, there's been a few times where I've thought that Cham and Baba Miller should have shot the ball and they didn't, either pass it up or drove in, or, I know Baba's, like to try to take people off the dribble and stuff like that. There's been a few where I thought he should have just caught it and shot it instead of trying to drive to the rim. But I know that's the game this day. I think they, if your shots aren't falling, I think they need to try to figure out a way to, produce a little bit more points, whether it's offensive rebounding it better or, converting second chance points better, or trying to get downhill a little more if your shots aren't falling. But, I mean, I think all in all, I think they're doing a nice job. They're going to make some shots, going to miss some shots sometimes, but, try to live with it.
How do you explain every Bearcats team for the last, 72 years or so being horrible, absolutely horrible at shooting free throws? And how do you get better about it?
How do you get better is, I mean, the only way to get better at anything is to practice it. I mean, I'm not saying they don't practice it or anything. I mean, Day-Day's been great at his free throws. I think some of the people missing him, Abayev, I know his free throw percentage is going to go up. Like I'm not worried about him. I think really the majority of your free throws is between Cham and Miller. Mm-hmm. Trying to get them up. I mean, if you can get them to in the 60, 65, right around close to 70, I think they'll be all right. But
Chom's percentage went up yesterday, shooting 50%. By the way,
Exactly. That's my point. So if you can get that, which I think they can. It's not like their shots are broke. So
I mean, Chom shot 67% last year.
Right. If he can just be right around there, we'll be fine as a team. I'm not worried about Kerr. I'm not worried about some of the guards. And even for everybody saying as much as Buck hasn't, I don't think he's much of a, he's definitely not going to convince anyone he's Steph Curry from three, but he's seemed to shoot his free throws all right. I mean, seems like I've been pretty confident in him when he's stepped up to the line. So
he's kind of no hesitation. Just
to answer your question though, I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know.
Is there a curse on the court? I don't know.
That's it.
It might be over an Indian burial ground. I don't know.
Curse is the correct answer, Aaron. Has to be, right?
Sure.
I mean, Baba shooting less, Chom shooting less, but it's early. It's absolutely early. Now, Tobes, it's kind of a little bit of a conspiracy thought in my head, but and probably something that you could maybe either kind of roll with or kind of be like, all right, you're dumb. But before a big game, I kind of like the thought of, and some of my friends were texting about this in a group chat as well. Kind of like the thought of having a bit of an off shooting night and having a bit of like a tough go around with a team you should clobber, leading into having a handful of days before a big game. Am I just kind of just shooting at the wind here, or I kind of feel like it's a weird thing, but I think it's a good thing.
Just having a bad game for a team you should beat,
bad game
for a big
rough shooting night, and then week before, I think water's going to find its level, to quote an old coach of ours.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, I know Louisville's really fucking good. I mean, they are. Yeah. I mean, they've scored almost 100 or almost 100 every single game. I think the one game was against UK and they only scored 96 or something. So, I think this is a game early in the season where I think you'll learn a lot about, and it might not even be about, like, you'll learn not just singularly from this game, but however it goes, how they respond to it. And even in a win, how do you, if you win on Friday against Louisville, how do you respond? Do you think your shit doesn't stink? And then you go into how the next game is, nobody, and come out sleepwalking, or do you, or if you get killed, and lose, like you start packing it in, or do you come out, So I think you'll learn a lot in this game against Louisville. I mean, they're as talented as any team in the country right now.
Yeah. New Jersey Institute of Technology is the next game. So
who?
New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Kyle Washington knows their mascot. I've never heard of him, but
NJIT.
Didn't they play them a few years ago, maybe?
Yeah. Okay. McMillan was there, right? A couple years ago or last year, yeah.
Yep. A big thing for me in this Louisville game, Tobes, is Louisville's going to go on a run. Like, you don't score 100 points a night in a 40-minute game and not be a team that is eventually going to go on the run, go on some kind of run. The big thing for me Friday night is it an 8-0 run or is it a 15-2 run? Right. Like that's the big thing, right? Is at some point in time, you've got to be able to step up and stop the bleeding, because if they get 2 stops, they can go on an 8-0 run, like in the blink of an eye. But the key is to get that thing quelled at 10-2 instead of it being 18-4, and now you're down 15 and you feel like the world's caving in on you.
Right.
Like that's a big thing for me in this game Friday.
Oh, absolutely is. Especially with a team like that where they just, and I know Wes is trying to play like a similar style of just getting up and trying to, play a lot of possessions and everything. But yeah, I mean that's exactly it. You can't in the first half be down 18 and then be trying to fight back the entire game. I mean, it's just they're too good, they're too talented to be doing that.
Yeah.
You had a couple wild games against Louisville. Obviously it was the one there was awesome, big W. The one
we did exactly what Chad was saying. We got up big early, and then they had to fight back the entire game, and it wasn't. They tried.
They had a 19-0 run in that game.
Right.
Down there.
Right.
Like you guys were up 20 plus.
Right.
And I swear to God, Tobes, it was
2 minutes.
45 seconds. Like it was blank. And it was like a 3-point game. Like, what the hell just happened?
Well,
it was like 2 minutes.
NBA guys on it.
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes. They went on a 19-0 run.
Yeah. No, they were good.
It was the fastest run I think I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys picked yourself up off the mat.
Exactly.
And slugged it out. And then the Russ Smith jumper at fifth third split the series.
Brutal. Couldn't we just talk about the other one?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's just stay on that first. Like SK dunking, like whoo. Yeah, when SK dunks, you're like, oh, whoa, this is a special moment. But yes, that we'll just remember that one. That's it. But yeah, did Mick treat? Obviously, Mick had a lot more games against Louisville, but did he treat that game similar to as a higher level, rival? Because I mean, obviously, it's been a while since we've played them, but I think regionally, it's past times has been somewhat of a pretty hefty rivalry, and I mean, I think this should have a little bit more juice to it than it seems to have heading into Friday.
Right. I mean, I think people forget how much, because we haven't played in so long that they were rivals for a while there, and it just I'm not going to say it rivaled the other rivalry, but yeah, it's definitely up there. It was up there on the give a shit games, but. Yeah, it does for whatever reason seems like it's not. I mean, I don't know how much I'm going Friday, but I don't know how many seats are still left or whatever. I heard at one point there was pretty many left.
Thousands.
Really?
Oh, it's bad.
It's not.
And good. I don't know if that's just people don't want to,
they don't want to go down there.
I don't necessarily blame people.
Place
isn't the greatest.
What are your thoughts on these neutral court games? It's sweeping through college basketball, and obviously there's a lot more behind just saying, "Hey, let's play a neutral court game." But it does seem to be something that is just completely taken over the sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting. To me, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't know. It's another, I don't want to say preseason game, but it's another just non-conference game that you're gonna play somewhere. You either do it there or do it at home and home. I mean, I would prefer a home and home and that kind of stuff. But to me, what's the difference doing that versus playing in New York City or wherever, random tournament? Like, to me, what's the difference? At least for me, I don't have to fly to Florida to go see them. I can just drive across the river. So I like that aspect of it. But damn,
good seats still available.
Well, I'm over there on the right corner, like 10 rows up. So,
like right here.
I don't see your mouse, but
yeah, where's your mouse? Sure. Yes, right there, Chad.
Right there.
How about, can you see it now?
Oh, I can see it
now. There's your
now.
mouse.
Down.
Are you right in here?
No, I'm down. Other corner. Other corner. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh yeah, right there. For all you guys listening podcast
If you
wise,
want to come say
the
hi,
mouse,
I'll be there.
the mouse is going down low, right there.
Totes is like right here.
Yeah,
Yep.
right in that area, somewhere
Oh,
in
yeah.
that area.
Oh, whoa. I've been hearing a lot about ticket prices and whatnot, and this, that, and the other.
Well, they botched that. Like the tickets are exorbitantly high for the game.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to get
is also kind of strange too. I mean,
it was 8:30 originally, and then just one day, all of a sudden, it was 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was late for the longest time.
It's weird, but it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be fine. I think the place will still be loud no matter what. A lot of the Louisville fans, I feel like, will swoop those up kind of last second and come join. But I mean, shoot, they've got a lot of non-con games that are like destination locations. Like they played IU at downtown Indianapolis in a couple of weeks as well. So I don't know. We'll see. But either way, that's going to be a massive game. And how important do you think it is early in the season to just, you kind of mentioned it earlier, just to like go out there and compete at a high level, and hell, if you pull out a win, then even better. But it just for the momentum of the season, especially with so many new faces. The other team, you got them in a couple of weeks after that, and so this probably would be a great way to just kind of get positive momentum rolling forward to the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you gotta. I mean, you in a game like this, you see what it takes to compete with a top 5-10 team in the country, because that's what they are. They're one of the top teams in the country. So you're going to figure out real quick, who can go and who might need a little more time.
Let's see. Chad, Aaron, you got anything more b-ball wise? Got a legend here with us.
I don't know about that.
Look, you've got your own gifts. Your legend status. Totes.
Yeah, let's talk about that gift thing. Like how often do you send that to someone? Like, it'd be almost a thing for me.
No, not maybe once a year. Something like that.
Oh,
nothing crazy.
Oh, I'd send it to somebody once a day. Once a day. Yeah. If I had my own gift like that,
well, I made the face because I picked the guy's pocket and they called it
clean.
It was what's his name that threw it straight to
Rob Gray.
Yeah, he threw it straight to Gary in the championship game.
Oh yeah.
And I
was gonna have a dunk.
Yeah,
and
not everyone.
And then check myself out, but I got a foul, and then Mick checked me out.
Hey, but you made the shot, though. I mean, come on now. Not everyone can say they made it. Let's talk about how great Houston is. Oh man.
And then Kelvin Sampson pulled a Chris Webber, called a timeout, and didn't have any. And Mick was like, "You're going to shoot this free throw, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, if you want me to, man.
Let's go.
Whatever you want, coach.
Let's go."
Ultimate team guy, Zach.
Right.
No, man. Was that the game, the senior day that you started?
Yeah.
You ducked in.
Yeah.
Got the hand up, got the ball, ran the play, got fouled.
I didn't get fouled, but
you made the bucket.
Yeah.
Yep. Last game at Old Fifth Third.
Yeah, it was the last game. Fun fact, I technically scored the last point at Old Fifth Third Arena.
Not technically.
Well,
first point,
not the last bucket, not the last field goal. I scored the last point.
But wait, did you score the first one of the game too?
I scored
and
the first
free
one
throw?
of the game. Yeah.
So you bookended the first and last points of the last game at Old Fifth Third Arena. Wow,
that's my fun fact.
There's got to be we got to get some kind of recognition up in the arena.
Yeah.
That you scored the last point at the Old Fifth Third Arena. Like we gotta
banner.
Put it in the UC Trivial Pursuit game.
Right.
Who scored the last point before the Fifth Third Arena renovation? And it'll just be the
Yeah, I mean, if I had that gif of myself, obviously no one here is single other than me. I would, boy, every girl in the phone book would be getting that quite a lot.
Just buy one of those video frames and give it away as a Christmas present to your family.
Just with that, my grandma has one of those, and you can just email like pictures
Put it on
to
loop.
it. So maybe I'll just email it to her.
Put
So
it on loop. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Do it.
every 10 minutes she looks over and it's just you going.
My grandma's got the same thing, I'll be honest. So I might send it myself. I might like do that thing, AI my face over it. And she'll be like, "Whoa, when did you play for the Bearcats?" I'll be like, "Gee, Ma, you don't even know."
Grandma, you're forgetting a lot.
Come on now. All right. Well, massive game Friday, 6:30. Tobes will be there. BCJ will be there. Should we timestamp this? You want a little football talk, and we'll get you out of here. You got to go.
No, we can talk some football real quick.
Okay, let's timestamp this.
Quick Paper Supply, your local and family and restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom. All right. Football. Well, boy, I hate to like start this part of the conversation off like this, but man, how awesome would this weekend have been? Nip at night, big noon kickoff in town, the game on Fox, 8 p.m. If they would have beaten Arizona this past week. Golly, it is so hard to stomach the 30-24 loss. Chad and Aaron, you guys did a great job as you always do. On the aftermath, that was the edition where you have to really console all the fans out there. But the chance to really have a freaking awesome environment was possible. But hopefully it still will be this upcoming weekend. But Tobes, as a fan side point of view, obviously we come on here every week and we try and get it as close as we can with the pea brain I have and the big brain Chad and Aaron have. But broad landscape, this season has been better than last season. There's no doubting that. The deflating nature of this past Saturday can't fully cloud what has been a pretty good year up to this point. But what have you seen so far through 10 games that gives you hope that the final two will come out on the winning end after tough back-to-back losses?
Yeah, they're definitely obviously took a big step forward from the last year, 2 years. But it's just finishing like last year they got out to 5-2 or whatever it was, and then lost 5 straight games. Like you got to figure out how to you're playing well, and then it just felt like on Saturday they could never felt like they got in a rhythm, never felt like they could get over the hump, whatever that was, like they're fighting long down and distance or something like that, and they're they just can't, it's not smooth for whatever reason. They can still change that. Obviously BYU is not going to be, and I think what they want to do at the end of the year is still possible. Like, I mean, if they went out, and obviously now they need a little more help, where if they would have beat Arizona and went out, then everything's right there. They're going to need a little bit of help, but they can still until they lose to BYU, not saying they will, but there's still a chance. Obviously they need some help, but there's still a chance. You're still fighting.
Chad, Aaron, what's your guys' pulse?
I think the biggest thing for me, the more I've looked at this, Nebraska, Utah, and Arizona have one thing in common. You know what that one thing is, Brent?
What's that?
They're all top 10 in the nation in pass defense.
Yeah,
They all three are elite defending the pass.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have learned through those 3 games is that Cincinnati is not elite as a passing attack. They are very good. They've had a very good season. They have done very well against teams that are not ranked in the top 10 defending the pass. Against everybody else, they've been outstanding. But those 3 teams, because of their ability to play man coverage, whether it be press man, whether it be off man, whatever the case may be, their guys were better than Cincinnati's guys. And that is the flat out reality of the situation. Did this team improve the passing game? Yeah, they did. Did they improve it to an elite level? No, they did not. And they played 3 teams that were able to expose that. And is that frustrating as a fan? It absolutely is. Because you're so close to having one of those seasons, right? You're right on the cusp to having one of those seasons that we talk about 10, 15, 20 years from now. But you still have to live in the reality of what you're watching. And what we watched is 3 teams had the ability to take away the thing that made Cincinnati superior in the 7 games that they won. And we can dissect it 50 ways from Sunday, but that doesn't change the fact that Arizona said, we're going to guard you man up, and we're going to make you beat us at what we do best. And Cincinnati couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in time, there are times you just have to tip your cap to the opponent and say, you were better than us. And I don't think, like, when I look at the Big 12, I think Texas Tech and Utah, talent-wise, are kind of far and away the 2 most talented teams in the league. BYU is in that next group, I think, right underneath them, even though BYU beat Utah at BYU, not taking anything away from them. But when I've watched BYU, I haven't felt BYU overwhelm people with their talent at times the way that Texas Tech and Utah have. And then you have a pretty big group under those 3. Cincinnati, Arizona State. Iowa State's in that group, even though injuries
in there, like they're just
have kind of decimated them. TCU, Kansas. You know, there's that next kind of big group before you get to that bottom of UCF, Oklahoma State, West Virginia, who is kind of improved. But there's a huge group in the middle. Colorado's right there in that bottom group, Aaron, for sure. Yeah. But it's like 3 at the top, 4 at the bottom, and then 9 that are all similarly talented in the middle.
Putting Kansas State in the middle, or are you putting Kansas State at the bottom?
Talent-wise, I feel like Kansas State is in the middle. The way they've played, they've been in the bottom. They played like garbage this year. But when you look at their talent, I think they're more in line in that middle group with who they should be, as opposed to who they actually have.
Completely sidetracked you from your.
Yeah, you're a hater. I know. You have to get your Kansas State hate in. Cincinnati's 3-1 against that group, that block in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Baylor. They beat Iowa State. They beat Kansas. They lost to Arizona. That's 3-1 in that group. If you'd have told me before the season started, they're 3-1 in that group going into the final 2 weeks in the season, everybody would have taken it. but they didn't play well against Arizona. I don't have to say it any more than what I said before. Your great players have to be great in those 3 games. Kansas, Iowa State, Baylor, Cincinnati's best players played really well. Against Arizona, they did not. A lot of that credit goes to Arizona,
right,
for taking Cincinnati away from what they wanted to do, from playing a better game. Arizona absolutely played better on Saturday than Cincinnati did. But that's the reality of this league. I think we're going to see this every year. There's going to be 2 or 3 teams that separate themselves talent-wise at the top. There's going to be 3 or 4 teams at the bottom that aren't as good. And then there's going to be a giant chunk of teams in the middle fighting to see where the chips fall when the dust settles. Cincinnati's been in that middle group. They've had a really good year. They weren't better than Utah. Utah kicked their ass. Like that wasn't even close. Utah was clearly the dominant team. I don't think that was a matter of Cincinnati didn't play. If Cincinnati played well, I still don't think they beat Utah 3 weeks ago.
Not there.
Not there. Not in that scenario.
Right.
But Arizona, if you played well, I think they would have won the game.
Yeah, you're one drive away from winning.
They didn't play well, and you end up with a loss.
Yeah, they didn't play well, and they only lost by 6.
Is it the world ending? No, but
Yes,
that's
it is.
how this shit goes sometimes.
It is the world ending.
Okay,
You're one drive away from winning both Arizona and Nebraska. To your point,
Right.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it just is what it is.
Yeah, got to figure out how to gain yards besides a couple big long runs when you're against a good passing defense.
Yeah, because guess what's coming into Nippert this Saturday night?
BYU's good.
Another good passing defense.
But they're not.
They're
like
not as good as
upper 20s, lower 30s. They are not elite.
And do they play? I don't. This is the stuff that I don't. Does BYU play a lot of man, or they cut
play
zone?
quite a bit. They mix it up, but they have the ability to play man. They do not have the corners that Utah and Arizona have put on the field.
Right.
So there will be a little bit more opportunity for Cincinnati to beat that defense. But BYU is going to pressure the shit out of you, and they're going to put heat on Sorsby to make decisions and get the job done.
Now the question is, does BYU jump into that top 10 after playing Cincinnati because their stats are so good? We'll see.
Who? BYU?
That's what I said.
Yeah. Chad, they're gonna clip your little not putting BYU in the upper tier of the Big 12, and it's gonna be Bear Bachmeyer is gonna say that Brendel guy was talking about us not in the top echelon.
You want to know why? You want to know exactly why I say that? I'll give you exactly why I say that, Brent. You want to know why?
Why?
Let me pull it up. BYU at Colorado, 24-21 BYU win. BYU at Arizona, 33-27 BYU win. BYU at Texas Tech, 29-7 BYU loss. BYU at Iowa State, 41-27 win. But that game was 27-27 going into the fourth quarter. BYU scored 14 points. On the road, they have not been the same team, the same at home. They maul people. Like they maul people at home. Yeah. But on the road, they have not been at the same level that I've seen Texas Tech and Utah perform.
Yeah.
That's just from watching the games. That's not to say BYU's having a phenomenal season. Yeah. But when I'm just talking about like teams that like when I'm watching what I think looks dominant, I think Texas Tech and Utah look dominant most of the time.
Right.
BYU is dominant at home and they've survived on the road. Kudos to them. You get all the fucking credit in the world for surviving on the road and winning the games.
When you win by one.
Get on a plane. Like, never apologize. Win by one and get on the plane. But I have not seen them look the same home and away the way that I've seen Texas Tech and Utah look home and away.
Yeah, it's going to be – I'm not even going to respond to Crypt Keeper, obviously, damn it. This is the scenario as well where we saw the last 2 weeks Arizona and Utah kind of take the wind out of sails and the ability to, control your own destiny and go play for the Big 12 championship. I mean, if BYU wins on Saturday night, they're not going to. Let's go Cats. Then they're gonna play in the Big 12 championship, and they're gonna be a playoff team. If they lose, then clearly it becomes the weird what the heck's gonna happen? How do the tiebreakers tie out?
Yeah.
And so that I think that's advantage Cincinnati going into this game. Kind of one of the scenarios where you don't really Bearcats are kind of playing with house money for the first time all year. If you kind of get what I'm saying right now. This team last year, as Tobes mentioned, started out 5-2, lost 5 straight, and it was never really. It was kind of like, oh gosh, we got to bounce back off of this. This year's team, they've been in the top 25. They've had national talk around them. They've had Brendan Sorsby rise to a level that people didn't quite predict outside of us on the show and others that really, really like the team. So I think this is the first time all season where they're kind of like, listen, let's go out, let's play. Got a big fan base behind us. Got a lot of people enjoying, trying to see if we can just propel and ruin BYU's chances of getting to the Big 12 championship and the playoff. And so I think that little side tangent really does aid Cincinnati when it goes into this one, and being a 2.5-point underdog at home as well. So my 2 cents in proof that I am a fan, Crypt Keeper. So thoughts, guys. I mean, it's just, some game outside of the game type ordeal.
Well,
Yeah, a little bit.
As underdogs, did they?
Huh?
They didn't open as underdogs, did they? I think they opened up as favorites.
No, they last week before
yeah.
But those are like future. I mean, you can bet on the TCU game right now if you want to. I mean, those are like future books. But when the official line opened up for this week, they were underdogs.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Tubbs, you were about to validate my point. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I mean, a little bit. It's one of those. It's like, okay, this. Are you going to continue that narrative that you fall apart at the end of the season, or are you going to change it?
Yeah. Aaron, Chad, you guys obviously do breakdowns of the game heading into it, and your keys and this, that, and the others and whatnot. Any kind of blemishes that you see this team being able to exploit? I mean, is it as simple as you put it, Chad? Kind of take advantage of being that home team and having this. I mean, at this point, Bear Bachmeier is no longer a true freshman starting quarterback. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just like that was a scenario coming into the year. You're like, oh, they've got a true freshman. I mean, no, he's not that anymore. But what is anything that you can see them kind of exploiting, or maybe just make it a drag out fight and be the one standing on top at the end?
One, you can't. It's a lot like Utah in that you can't let them play from ahead. Like, you cannot let BYU dictate the terms of engagement. You have got to come out fired up. Like, what has everybody complained about? Cincinnati keeps going on the road and having to play night games, and everybody comes to Cincinnati and plays at noon, at noon. Well, this is your opportunity, right? You've been whining and bitching and complaining as a fan base about this. Show up. Don't leave 7,000 empty seats in the stadium, and show out to help get your team a victory. People spend their money however you want to spend your money. Look, whether you show up or not, cool. But you then don't get to complain about the environment and the atmosphere and Why does the team look flat? Is it a big time fan base, big time program or not? If
Right,
it is, that place will be full. You know what my fear is, Brent?
What?
There's going to be a lot of blue in Nippert Stadium
all
on
blue
Saturday
and
night.
white.
For sure. They travel. That's for damn sure. They travel.
You can blow up my mentions all you want. It's fine. I'm used to it. It's cool. It's like, in 2019 when, 25,000 people showed up for the senior night game against Temple. And I talked about it on social media. And I had people tell me, you don't know what you're talking about. Luke Fickell's not upset about that. Luke Fickell's not worried about that. You know who I heard about those concerns from? Luke Fickell, who told me straight up, point blank, that's not good enough. Are we a championship program or not? Because a championship program fills up the stadium on senior night for a team that's got 9 wins and is looking to play in a conference championship game. That came from the head coach. I didn't make that up. You spend your money however you want to spend your money. But it's people look at it from the outside and from the inside and observe what it says about the fan base. The fact that place was at 32,000 or whatever you want to say it was at, there were 8,000 people dressed as metal bleachers for that game.
But Chad, it was
Arizona.
cold, dude. Oh no, against Arizona. Okay.
Against Arizona.
70 degrees.
I thought you were still talking the Temple game.
No, I'm talking Saturday. And guess what? Because UC fans didn't buy the tickets for this coming Saturday, I have a very sneaking suspicion based on when the game sold out that there's going to be 10,000 BYU fans at the game on Saturday. Because this fan base wants to talk a big game, but they don't want to live a big game. They want to sit at home and complain about things that are happening at the game when they're not at the game.
One guy that'll be there. One guy that'll be there is Tobes, though.
I'll be there, man.
Let's go now. You know what?
Tobes' dedication can never be questioned.
I'll do my part.
Look, does the press box, the new luxury portion of Nippert Stadium, get built without Zach Tobler?
No.
Yeah, because that wasn't me.
Wow. Does Fifth Third Arena get renovated without Zach Tobler? Not only did the man score the last point at Fifth Third Arena, he rebuilt and remodeled the whole damn thing himself.
Well, I don't know about myself, but
let him cook.
By yourself, Tobes. Take credit for one thing. Jeez.
He did do the football locker room.
And we did the men's and women's basketball locker rooms too.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
But yeah.
You were still a student when the football stadium got done, right?
Yeah, I was a student then because we played that one season down at I guess it was still Paul Brown. What was it? Paul Brown? Yeah, still Paul Brown then.
Yeah, it wasn't Pay-Joe Stadium yet. It was still Paul Brown Stadium.
Pay-Joe and Jamar said Jamar can pay the NFL.
Man, speaking of Joe, Flacco looked like he needed a damn nap all day yesterday. What the hell was that?
I mean, he's 40-something years old in the middle on Sunday afternoon.
That's a whole different story, man.
He definitely needs a nap.
I don't condone hocking loogies, but if someone deserves a loogie, I think they picked the right guy. But outside of that, that's talking Bengals on the BBP.
Look, it's going to be an opportunity to go get a big win. They need every advantage they can get. They need the place full. They need people losing their damn minds because BYU is a heck of a good football team, and they're beatable. They're not. I don't think they are that far ahead of Cincinnati that I don't think Cincinnati can win the game. But Cincinnati's going to have to play well. Brendan Sorsby's going to have to be a star quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And the supporting cast is going to have to carry their weight. And they have not done that the past 2 weeks, from top to bottom, from coaches to players to video staff, you name it. They have not done the job to get this team ready and to go out and perform in a game they probably had very little chance to win against Utah, but a game they very much had a chance to win against Arizona, and they didn't get the job done. So it's time to go look in the mirror, gut check. What do you really want to be known for the 2025 season? Is it going to be another team that faded? Is there going to be a team that took a couple lumps, picked itself up off the mat, and got to the finish line strong? Because guess what, Brent?
Yeah.
Last year, Arizona State was kind of in a very similar spot to UC 2 weeks prior to the end of the regular season. And those guys kept fighting. They won their last 2 games. They ended up in the conference championship game.
Chaos.
And ended up in the playoff.
But
Chaos.
Arizona State is also in that same exact position this
Sure
year.
they are.
So
Yeah.
Well, but they don't have. But the guy that they have at quarterback isn't really simsing that much. So.
But when you're talking about multiple team tiebreakers, Aaron, one of the multiple team tiebreakers is what's your record against the like they go down the list.
Yeah.
If you beat BYU,
That's pretty high up there.
you've got a hell of a feather in your cap when they start doing tiebreakers.
And it's also like I think they like that break down the quarterbacks and say, is this quarterback, playoff worthy? And then they kind of throw you out real quick after that.
That's not how they know.
No.
That's not how they do it.
Oh, I didn't think so. Good question. So yeah, exactly. Sorsby's ankle. I mean, we talked about dogs on the basketball court. That man is a dog. Didn't have his best game, but boy, oh boy, he was gritting out that last couple of drives. I don't know. Hopefully the ankle's fine. Did you guys ask him in the presser at all? I wasn't able to digest that.
Nobody knows how immediately after a game. Nobody knows.
Right, but
so we'll have a better idea tomorrow. Same time. Every injury question we get on the BBP.
Yeah,
we have a press conference tomorrow.
Right.
We get to go to practice tomorrow. We'll get a chance to get some answers tomorrow. We did ask, but they don't know.
Did ask. Sorsby just said it didn't feel good, and that was where it was left.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. We'll hopefully have a better answer tomorrow.
Byron Leftwich game out there, hobbling up to the line of scrimmage. But it's gonna be a situation where I think Sorsby's, no matter what's gonna play, it's gonna have to tear off that leg for him to miss this game.
He'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll be in slinging.
Kobler, before we let you go attend to more better business than what we are offering, let's get your prediction for Saturday, other than potentially you and I finding Dave Portnoy and slamming a couple beers and a couple pizza reviews. But big game, obviously, and then at TCU the following week. But what's your rough prediction as far as this game on Saturday and then the rest of the way?
31-30. Get the dub, man.
Let's go.
Walk off Rusnak field goal. Is that what we're doing?
Yep. They just need to make a couple, like whether it's a turnover or two, a big punt return, a big kickoff. They need 2 or 3 of those plays just to something. They didn't seem to have any of that against Arizona. They need a couple game-changing plays, but see if they can do it.
Also, if you get Evan Pryor back, if you get Caleb Goody back, you have 2 guys who are playmakers who may be able to make some of those plays.
Right, that too.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
This is a pretty massive weekend for the two, sports. Obviously. Yeah, exactly.
Have we ever played? Is BYU top 10? Have we ever played 2 top 10 teams in 2-day span and 2 different
rankings
sports?
Have not. Those will come out tomorrow, but I think
they'll be probably right around 10. I would think.
Yeah. Gosh, that's gonna be an atmosphere to be atmospheric at. I tell you what,
it's gonna be a Gonna be an interesting Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not a depressing BBP a week from tonight.
No, it'll be on Sunday night.
Oh no!
Oh, there's a game. There's a game. What, Monday and Wednesday?
Yeah.
And Wednesday, I think.
Oh yeah, Chad. I see you over there, man. Golly. You're gonna be ready.
You got a pregame motivational speech, Brent?
Crypt Keeper keeps bringing this up.
I'm feeling a little sick Sunday night, guys. Jeez.
Nah,
All right.
Crypt Keeper. I want to meet that man in real life because we can talk about packing and talk about everything he needs me to. So, yeah, no, it wasn't a pregame speech. I don't curse too much on this show, but catch me in the wild and I'll lay it all out there like a sailor.
Maybe Saturday.
So yeah, exactly. So I was trying to find words that were opposite, not opposite, but like dog nabbit and darn it and things like that. And I said one that was not good either way, and I thought it was fine. Instead of like mother effing, I said something else. And I'll tell you off air, I'm not going to repeat it again because there's a lot of people clipping out there these days. So.
Like nice. Ed, that's Ed's job. Ed's here. That's why Ed's here. He's marking down the moments to clip.
Yeah,
he's gonna clip you, put you on the internet, Brent.
Exactly. I will not be able to.
Tobes,
this time.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you hanging out.
Appreciate it all.
Yes, sir. Hey, we'll see you this weekend, hopefully.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.
I know where you're sitting on Friday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll go.
I'll stop by and say hello.
There we go.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Tubbs.
See y'all.
See ya.
Tubbs.
Man.
What a guy.
So we got to go Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday.
With what?
Games.
Yeah, games. Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday is the 8-day stretch that we're dealing with starting Friday.
Yep. And then you do another Monday. So this is when we do the back-to-back Sunday BVPs. And then it's Friday crosstown shootout.
Much for off days.
Grind season. Grind season.
Baby. Hopefully it leads, all roads lead to Arlington and a shot at the college football playoff. That would be awesome. But sadly, we've got what we've got in front of us.
It's an uphill climb.
It is. Should we go ahead and timestamp this? And we've got a nice full mailbag to dive into.
We should. Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009 and are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. I know Greg's here. Greg says nip at night, now part of the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, nip at night. Greg, you got any holiday specials coming up for the people at Beachmont Toyota?
Okay.
Got anything to drive some business when they go to Cincy Greg Hooden on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram? What's bringing them in? If you need a new or used, gently used, obviously, of course, Toyota, go see our guy Greg Hooden, Cincy Greg Hooden, at Beachmont Toyota. He'll get you taken care of. Let him know you're a fellow Bearcat family member. He'll give you a little special, maybe get you into the VIP room in the back while they're working out your deal. So I think it's got they've got one of those massage chairs, I think, back there.
Oh yeah.
Somebody fanning you, feeding you grapes.
Yeah.
Brent needs a Tundra.
Oh, hook it up, Greg.
What do you need a Tundra? Brent's in Florida. Brent doesn't need a Tundra.
It would be nice to have a car just chilling up there. I keep on hitting up rentals every time I come up these days. So.
Look, classic Florida man has a truck. Let's all be honest here.
That's
Now,
fair.
Generally, it's a Ford Ranger, but
Okay.
Buying a car from Greg is always a special experience. College grad rebate good for 2 years after graduation, and it's good for grad school students. There you go. Head down to Beachmont Toyota. Hit Greg up. Send him a DM if you're looking. If you're shopping, he will help out and hopefully get you in your new ride for the holiday season at Beachmont Toyota. All right, let's mailbag it up, boys and girls.
Let's go.
all right, we will start off as we always do in the football portion of the mailbag. And starting off, is Pryor a big enough factor given the issues he presents to the defense to have made the difference in the Arizona game between a W and an L?
I don't think so. I think Zion Johnson played really well. I don't know that are they missing Evan Pryor? Yeah, sure. In a one-score game, maybe he finds a way to break one that they didn't. But overall, I don't think Zion Johnson was the problem. I thought Zion Johnson had a fine game and continues to show he has bona fides to be the Cincinnati back of the future. So yeah, it stunk not having Evan Pryor, but I don't think it was something that was the reason they didn't win. I think Arizona's defense played better than UC's offense, and I think that probably would have happened with Evan Pryor in the game as well.
Yeah, I mean Zion's got some juice, man. He had plays that looked Pryor-esque, if you will.
He's got similar traits.
Right. So I mean the only way that you would say maybe I guess a couple of the Tawi runs, where he broke it and then was kind of hawked down from behind because he didn't have that, that breakaway home run speed. You would say if Pryor was there for those, then he'd find the end zone. But both of those drives, Cincinnati still scored at the end of those drives. So, I don't think it would have been a big enough factor, but kind of like what you're saying, it's more as a whole. I think turnovers were kind of big,
huge,
obviously.
Yeah.
I think the lack of forcing turnovers is probably bigger than the turnovers themselves. I mean, I guess probably just that opening one, and then you're down 7-0 pretty much to start the game. So, I would say turnovers before missing Pryor. But if Pryor's back Saturday, it would be a massive addition.
All right. I haven't been able to listen to the pods in a while, so this may have been discussed previously. What are your guys' thoughts on the play of defensive backs? I know our team struggles, but I see it all over every level of football where the DBs never get their head around to locate the football. There are so many interceptions to be had on underthrown balls. Instead, we get penalized because we do not locate the ball, and it hinders the receiver's ability to come back and get it. I'd rather locate the ball instead of watching eyes and praying that I time out the pass breakup correctly. Same.
I mean, we've talked about it all season. They haven't done it good. They've been in position to make plays and have not made plays. A lot of that is because they have not been able to get their head around, even when they're in position to make the play. If you're connected to the receiver and you get a sense the ball is getting near, you have got to get a head around and just watch any given game in college football on a Saturday. If the defender gets his head around, they almost never throw the flag. If the defender does not get his head around, the flag flies, it feels like 80% of the time. Yes, I agree. And I've talked about this a lot over the years. When they're not in position or when they're 2 yards behind the receiver and trying to make up ground, I don't want that guy turning his head. But that has not been the case this year. The coverage has been fairly tight, and they're still not getting their head around. And it's allowing one, we don't talk about it because there's been a lot of flags, but there's also Arizona had what, Brent, 3 of them?
Yeah.
3 catches where the defender was right there, never got his head around to locate the ball, and the guy made the catch.
Yeah.
The guy made the catch. Get your head around if you're in position.
I think that's the key part as well, is like when you get that much tape out there that they aren't getting their hand around and whatnot.
Yeah.
And kind of like what you and Aaron were talking about, Aaron is pointing out the obvious of like, yes, if you get your head around, you should be able to get that turnover or at least bat the ball down. But this late into the season, like you said, Chad, it's like, it's not going to happen. Like at this point, the defense is the way it is, unless something, clicks the final 2 games of the year, which I think you have 10 games to kind of see that, that's probably not going to be the case. But
the sample size is big now, Brent.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, is like when you have that on tape, the quarterback has the thought in his head, like, I'm going to throw it up there, and either my guy's going to go up and make a spectacular catch, or we're going to most likely get a pass interference call. So
yeah.
When you have that ability to kind of, wing it up there on a 3rd and 7 with, a tie ball game or you're up a little bit, you're going to take that gamble all the time. So yeah, it's definitely been a struggle, and kind of McDoom is, as well as Daniel James obviously had a couple of really rough ones in that second half. So hopefully something can flip, and maybe not getting the head turned around, but more just as they put their hands up when they see the receiver make a play, maybe hopefully one deflects off a hand and pops in the air, and someone else can run under it real fast. But yeah, it is what it is at this point. But it's definitely been a struggle against these teams the last couple of weeks. Muted.
Sorry, I've been coughing all night and been trying to stay on mute.
Are you okay? I need you healthy this weekend, Aaron.
I'm working on it. I mean, I got these petri dishes that we call kids in this house. Anyway, has our zone-heavy defensive scheme affected our offense's ability to attack man this season? I would guess the offense was practicing against more zone than man this spring, summer, and that our scout team has a more difficult time replicating Utah's defense compared to Iowa State.
Sure. What do you want me to say here, guys? Like, they practice against who they practice against. What hurts them more than anything is that Arizona and Utah had better corners. It's not about man or zone in that situation. They had better players. So did it hurt UC that they weren't going against elite players? Like, did it make Alec Pierce better that he went against Sauce Gardner every day? Probably did. I don't know what answer. Like, I've seen this a bunch over the last week. Sure. But the thing is, you know what they don't play when they're doing 1-on-1s and 7-on-7s? They're playing man. So they see plenty of man. It's not like the only thing they ever see in practice is zone defense. They see plenty of man in practice. What would make them better is going against elite defensive backs, and Cincinnati doesn't have them on the roster this year. Although Logan Wilson's quietly having a really strong back end of the season. Give Logan credit. He's played. Yeah. They are not picking on him these last couple weeks because he's played well. You guys got anything on that? I don't know what else to say to it. Like,
I mean, I guess like it. I mean, a lot of teams in college football play zone as well, and
sure,
you've got to go up against different looks. I mean, I wasn't at practice all. You were at more than I was, but it's a scenario where it's like, I mean, these opposing receivers are being able to get open against our defensive backs as well. and in practice, it sounds like the wide receivers had good games. I mean, the defense this past week put on, and I tweeted it a couple times, put on a bend but don't break clinic. Like
for a
they
while.
did, for a while until like I mean, you can only hold back water so much before the dam breaks, and you're gonna give up a couple of big plays. That's the game where you're propping up this early stretch where you miss field goal, block field goal. You're forcing them to not score touchdowns. The offense responded with 2 touchdowns of their own, but then they just didn't score again. But the defense was doing its part during that stretch. It just, once you get to that level, and then all of a
There
sudden
were plenty of opportunities for UC to turn 14-7 into 21-7, 24-7.
Right.
Like they had their chances to create distance in that game, and they didn't get it done.
Yep, I agree. So it's as far as just practicing, at a certain point, it's just more about just repetition with your receivers and like just tape knowledge, and then get open. Like it's just like you can rep as much as you want, man. But
there were 5 drops.
Yeah,
5 drops
Mhm.
that could have been made against man coverage. Did they drop the football because they went against zone in practice against man?
Right.
Sure. If you want to make that argument, sure.
Right.
Sure.
So I mean,
come on, practice.
Not a game. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. What bowl might UC get if the Cats beat BYU or if they lose to BYU? I'd love to see UC in the Liberty Bowl personally.
There's everybody so tightly bunched at the top of this conference.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to have any idea until after the TCU game.
If there was,
even then, it's just going to be preference of the bowl games.
Right. If there was no chance to go to Arlington with a shot to go to the college football playoff, I would absolutely love the Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, everybody.
For whatever it's worth, Pop-Tarts has been there twice this season.
We're talking Orlando, Florida. We're talking the Saturday after Christmas. Like, come on. It doesn't get much better than that, man. 12:27 with a 3:30.
Are we staying at your house if they're in the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
Hey, man, I'll throw a big old party. Let's go.
That's not what I asked. I didn't ask if you're throwing a party.
Come on in.
If the whole BCJ crew is
make
staying
it
at
happen.
Brent's house.
Bring it in. Let's go. I want Aaron.
There's got to be
Aaron's gonna cuddle with me. That's all I ask.
Unbelievable. Ain't it weird?
I'll even let you be the big spoon. Right.
Cincinnati is now 0-3 in home games, coming off a bye in the Satterfield era. In the previous 2 games, they were betting favorites prior to kickoff, and all 3 games had spreads within a touchdown either way. What do you attribute to being winless in this situation under Coach Scott Satterfield? A lack of focus or preparation coming into the week, being rusty, players overlooking their opponent, etc.
I don't think the other 2 teams were any good.
Yeah, I think that's what I was going to say too.
I don't think the other 2 teams were any good.
Because earlier this year, coming off the bye, they had a good performance at Kansas. Lit it up offensively.
Yeah.
And pulled out a big win. So coming off a bye at home, good stat, Jackson. But
they were terrible at home the last 2 years.
Yeah. And
a bye, on a bye. They probably almost lost during the bye Saturday. They almost lost at Nippert Stadium.
You know what? I like that stat so much. He should have said who they played because let's reminisce those games real fast. So coming off a bye at home in 2024, let's see if they had any chance to pull out this W.
And they were favorites in those 2 games, I guess, according to that stat.
Came off a bye. Okay, so yeah, all right. So they played at Colorado, had the bye, played at home against West Virginia. That was
Sorsby threw the game away.
That was a bad game.
Yeah, that was Sorsby had those 2 interceptions that absolutely cost them that game.
Yep. Yeah, that was not good. Okay, and then this one was played at BYU that Friday night, late night game. Lost.
And then had a
with
bye
Roy.
and lost to
Had a
Iowa
bye.
State.
Played at home against Iowa State, 30-10 loss. That
Iowa State was significantly better than them.
They were really good, yeah. Really good. So that would kind of break that down.
No way they were favored in that Iowa State game.
No, I don't.
No way.
I mean, at that point though, they were what? Going into the Iowa State game, they were 2-3.
They were 2-3 and 0-2 in the Big 12. Iowa State was 3-3 and 2-1 in the Big 12.
Yeah.
If UC was favored in that game, that was a terrible line.
Yep.
The West Virginia game, they had the game there for the taking, and their quarterback made 2 completely boneheaded mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on. Coach Vrabel once said, I want to say he was trying to use the word slice, but once said he'd slice off a piece of his hog for a Super Bowl ring. What body modification would you devote for a championship in hoops or football?
None.
One of the two of them. One of the two of them. You only need one.
What would you cut off?
One of the two of them. You only need one.
Kidney is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna, nothing. I would not cut off anything.
No shot.
I don't value it that highly. Maybe if you caught me 10 years ago, I might get in on this action. I've been through a lot in the past 10 years. I'm not cutting off anything for anything.
Live strong. Live strong.
18 years ago, you could have talked to me about anything, but
I would have said a toe, but then I had a neighbor that lost a toe.
No, too much balance with the toes.
And that guy was never the same.
Yeah.
Like that guy literally was never the same after he lost
too much
a
balance
toe.
with the toes. Maybe a pinky.
No.
Get rid of them.
I think you'd miss it. I think you'd miss a pinky more than you realize.
What holds the bottom of the can?
Yeah, true. You only need one. There you go. All right. Next question.
Left or right?
I mean, live strong. Live strong.
Out of 16 recognized defensive metrics, we are on the wrong side of the 50th percentile on 15 of them. Is bend but don't break really the right description for this defense right now? P.S. Arizona either scored or missed a field goal on 8 drives, including the last 5 drives, and put up 30 points? That's a question.
Yeah.
It's bend but don't break. The Arizona had 13 points at halftime. And Cincinnati still was very much in position. This is a team that is designed to have their offense carry the load. When the offense stinks, the defense is going to get exposed. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's not like they missed a field goal because Cincinnati almost blocked the first one and forced the kicker to push it left, and then they blocked the second one. That's part of bend but don't break. We put you in a position where you had to take 3 instead of scoring a touchdown, and you didn't get 3 on those 2 tries. And you know what the offense did? Nothing. They did nothing.
They broke.
Eventually, you're going to break. Like Brent said, eventually, there's only so much water that the defense can hold if the offense is going to score 14 points through 3.5 quarters.
I just meant the offense broke.
They did.
All right.
They didn't even bend. It was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Woof. And then Obcat says, just want to give you guys a big shout out of appreciation. With both football and basketball in full swing, the amount of content is greatly appreciated. So thanks.
That makes it all worth it.
Wow.
AUC Bearcat 79. That makes it all worth it.
Appreciate
You know what?
you.
We're going to be here Friday and Saturday and Sunday and Monday and Wednesday. We're going to take Thanksgiving off. We're going to do that. But then we're going to be back Friday and Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I feel like we're going to end up still doing Thanksgiving keys.
No, we're going to do that on Friday at some point. Like that's
right.
we're not doing that. I'm not getting on here with you on Thanksgiving and doing a show. No.
I'm not holding my breath. All right. Basketball portion of the mailbag. Chad mentioned on BCJ Pod the student section chanting 4 is a female dog against Dayton. In the upper level, we had sarcastic "Let's go Flyers" chants from UC fans as Dayton fans hit the exits. What is your guys' favorite Fifth Third crowd reaction of all time?
Bump, 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 bump.
Fuck
You guys
you,
don't know?
refs.
Louisville sucks. That's an all-timer.
I really missed the free throw. Bump, 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 bump.
As far as like loud roars go, I mean not necessarily like conducive with what this guy's talking about, but like gosh, and this is like my saddest thing that I ever missed was that massive Gary Clark alley-oop against Memphis when the crowd just went absolutely nuts. And I was at the damn concession stand getting a beer, waiting on my friend to come out of the bathroom. And then I just heard the crowd go wild and I was like, what did I just miss? And I ran out there, saw the replay. It was just, that was my sad, loud moment chant. Roud. There we go. Or how about at the Sugar Bowl? I'll tell you one thing I hated was how loud that go Gators. Hated that. That's just another one for you.
Was that worse than the Arkansas Woo Pig Suey?
Extremely underwhelmed with the Woo Pig Suey. Extremely underwhelmed. Weren't you? Like, I thought it was going to be like legendary, and then it was just like, oh.
I thought it was just annoying how often it happened.
Yeah.
It was very, very often.
Ooh.
Greg says pull your pants up chants in stereo from students at both ends of the shoe during the last shootout at the old shoe.
That's a good one, yeah.
That is a good one.
It is a good one.
Yep. Oh, JP. God. Cumberland and one against. Oh, that was just. Oh.
Speaking of female dog, old JP.
Yeah.
Anyway. What happened to the Milton's Donut stand behind Section 118? They've even added a Founder's Breakfast Stout to the Overlook Bar, so I feel like they are mocking me.
They are. I checked. I called today and checked. I said, Will and Cincy had this question, and the answer was we are absolutely mocking him. And thanks for the acknowledgement that it's working. So, sorry, Will.
Sometimes the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Sorry, Will. I mean, they were like, yeah, we had a meeting, and we knew Will was looking for donuts. So we added the beer and took away the donuts just to mock him. Like they did that.
Oh man, that's a bad day. Grade the 5 starters as overperforming, underperforming, playing as expected. Chom. We'll just do one at a time. Chom.
As expected.
Until this past game against Mount St. Mary's, I would say under from what I was hoping.
Based on what?
Just like I don't know. I was expecting the superlative I threw out in the beginning of the year was he was the MVP of the team. and
I didn't.
I know I'm saying me. I'm not saying you, but yeah, then I saw his motor just ramp up against Mount St. Mary's and going after blocks, really, really being active. And I think I just think as he continues to get more and more comfortable, it's going to be a chance to continue to play as expected and potentially reach the overperforming.
I think it's important that people remember he was used entirely differently at UCF. Like he was like an add-on, getting whipped cream on top of your milkshake.
Yep.
Right? They already had their 3 guys that everything was happening around those 3. Like the entire UCF system was around those 3 guys. And anything Chom gave you was kind of icing on the cake. And he was able to settle into that role and be comfortable as like a secondary type guy. He's not being asked that here. He's being asked to be a lot more of a centerpiece.
Yep.
And that's going to take some time. So I expected it to take a little time for him to find his sea legs. So I would say performing as expected.
I agree, as expected. Baba Miller.
Better than expected.
Yeah.
Overperforming.
Yeah. Overperforming.
What is overperforming? Is that a word? I've never heard anyone say overperforming before.
I would assume it's the opposite of underperforming.
Yeah, but is that a word? Like, has anybody ever used that before Killer V tonight?
Well, people used to not use irrelevant, and now that's in the dictionary too, Chad.
Is that true?
Yes.
Chad.
That's true.
Yeah, I want to see Bavak continue to assert himself. I think Louisville is going to be a big game. It's going to be high scoring, going to be up tempo, chance for him to get out and run. I want to see him just continue to surge with his high start to the year, and he's grabbing rebounds like a beast. So, continue that offensive surge as well.
He's been better on the glass than I thought. He'd be pretty good on the glass. Yeah. He's been better, I think, than even I anticipated so far.
Yeah,
averaging a double-double in 4 games is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It is.
Oh, whoops!
We're not gonna.
Kerr Kriisa.
I'd say under just because his shot hasn't fallen yet. He's going to be a much better than 25% 3-point shooter, but small sample size. I would say under just because he hasn't shot at the level that I know Kerr Kriisa is capable of shooting.
And once the team gels more and more with game experience, those dicey passes that he's had, in the Dayton game and whatnot, I think those are going to start to hit the mark a little bit more as well. So yeah, I'm right there, under, trending towards as expected.
And he had 8 assists in the Dayton game?
8 assists, 5 turnovers. So yeah, it was a one of those live by the pass, die by the pass.
I'd say he's about playing as expected for me, but Day
over.
Well over, yeah.
I mean,
and I expected him to be really good, but yeah. I mean, he's shooting like 70% from 3. That's outperforming your expectation.
And getting to the line at a premium and knocking those down too.
The shot doctor.
I mean, you can argue that like Dede is trending towards being, the MVP of the team when it's all said and done. So yeah, overperforming.
And Shanabayev.
About what I expected.
Yeah, expected. Far. I think he's one thing. And Chad, I want to hear your thoughts on this real fast. And I think there's another question in the mailbag about switching up the starting 5 or whatever. The all 4 games, they've started out with that same play with Sean where he gets it and they drives and he throws up a an attempt, a layup attempt or whatnot. But Sean is always the first player off that heads to the bench when Buck comes on. It's usually like 3 minutes into the game, like 2.5, 3 minutes into the game. And then Sean sits until the under 12 timeout. It's I don't know. I think it's hard for an offensive player to like find any rhythm at all if like you get
So
taken
what's your
out.
solution?
I'm asking your thoughts on it. I don't have
I'm asking yours. What's your what's the
let him play a little bit longer. I don't know. It's just like a quick.
Buck is kind of your spark. Like Buck is kind of
Right. I agree.
the heart and soul. So
he just
you're trying to get Sean off to a good start, trying to get him feeling good the first 3-4 minutes of the game. You're running offense for him immediately.
Yeah.
You're working to get him in a flow, but then so what's the answer on when you bring Buck in?
I don't know. I guess like because then and obviously it'll change. Things will change throughout the year, but it's the next sub on the wing is a Celestine or Jordy the first 3 games, not this past game, and then it's like you let them have their run, and then even later, and it's a Bayev. I mean, I don't know. It's just something that I've kind of noticed where it's just like, okay, well, this offensive high-powered guy, and even Tubbs brought it up. He was like, didn't really play well in the first half shooting wise, and he didn't play too much minutes other than then comes in the second half and is on the court more, and his shot starts falling, and he's able to put up 9 points real fast. So I don't know, just something I noticed and was thinking to throw out there.
I just don't know what's the answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just putting him right back out there with Buck on that second substitution rotation and taking out more time that you give to the other guys that are eating up those 3-4 minutes. So,
and maybe that's what happens as the conference play gets here and the rotation shortens. The thing right now is you have got to get these guys on the floor, get them on the floor together. Yeah. It's not going to be ideal, but you're Celestine, you're going to need, like, you have got to get him up to speed, especially he missed like 2 months.
Yeah.
So you've got to get him some rhythm as well, because they're going to need his 3-point shooting, if nothing else. Like the other night, the Dayton game, Aaron said he's got 6 points, 2 threes, and 6 rebounds. I'd take it. If you told me every night he was going to go 2 of 3 from 3 and grab 6 rebounds, write me down. I'll take it every time. So it's, when you're in this early portion, Brent, I think some of that stuff is going to seem a little bit more wonky. Yeah. Just because you've got more guys, you have to figure out who they are, where they fit, what's their role. As things play out farther down the line.
Yep. All right. How many points do you deduct from the University of Louisville team total predictions, knowing what you know about the rims at Heritage Bank? Also, why can't UC bring their own hoops for the game?
Probably because Heritage Bank has their own hoops and they don't. They're good. They're bad, but they don't need your hoops. They have their own. Like, when you stay the night at a friend's house when you're a kid, do you bring your bed?
You do bring your own pillow. That's not
okay. Cincinnati brings their own ball, like to practice and warm up. They bring their own basketballs. That would be akin to the pillow, right? I would think the hoop would be like the bed. Like, hey, I'm coming over tonight. My dad will be over with the truck at 5:30 to drop off my bed.
Maybe you bring your own sleeping bag.
Okay, so you bring your uniforms. Or a towel. You bring your own towels.
Mm-hmm.
The bed analogy is the basketball, the rim.
I think both teams should have to supply one hoop each.
Each team brings one. Okay.
All games. All
Okay.
games.
Do they switch them at halftime?
No, because you're switching sides at halftime. So you have to.
I know.
So if you are changing the hoop or whatever, then both teams get to benefit from the hoop.
So do you put your hoop at your end in the second half?
You get to make the call. Is it tight or is it loose? But both teams will get to benefit from it being tight or it being loose.
I'm not going to comment on that statement.
You're welcome.
I'm surprised Brent didn't have something to say there.
Brent got out of somehow going into the thing earlier anyway.
I just like the idea of just bringing your bed when you spend the night at a friend's house.
Yeah.
If you don't have a truck, Beverly Hillbilly styling it, got it tied up on the car.
Yeah. Like, hey, I'm here. Timmy's here. He brought his bed. Like, make room.
Clear out the living room.
Sleep over there.
We hopping back.
Making the bed.
We hopping back in the Christopher Washington Jr. sweepstakes. If you didn't see, he decommitted from Alabama today.
I don't have an answer to that yet. I don't know what happened. When somebody decommits during signing week, there's usually a story you need to get to the bottom of before you figure out where things are at going forward. I don't know the story yet. I've sent out a couple texts today.
Taking his shirt off.
Yeah. Oscar might have played on those exact same rims. That's how old I think those rims are. Crip. He might have. It's possible.
All right. Buck has made a huge impact to start this season. What does he need to do to improve to stay on the floor a little longer? Not foul.
Some of it is not. Yeah, that's probably the biggest answer. But I think he's been on the floor a lot when he hasn't been in foul trouble.
Yes.
I mean, I could take the low-hanging fruit and say make more threes, but that's not who he is. So I'm not counting on that to be something. I think he's done about everything you could have asked for him when the season started. He's been an incredible defender. Yes, he's fouled a little too much. Yes, some of it has been ticky-tack, start the season variety fouls where they call everything early. And then as you get, a month, 2 months into the season, those fouls aren't being called anymore. But he's been aggressive downhill. He's gotten to the rim. He's gotten to the free throw line. He's made his free throws. Like Buck has been exactly what I wanted to see, and maybe even a little bit more. So other than knocking down a couple threes, I don't know what the answer to that would be.
9 minutes, game one. He had foul trouble, but also that's when he got hurt. 15 minutes in game two, he fouled out. Game three was Dayton. He played 18 minutes. I mean, had 3 fouls. I don't know if 2 of those came in the first half, and it might have cut down. I don't know, but then 22 minutes this past game. So I mean, he's playing a good amount. He's just such a strong defensive player, and he's great in transition offensively. But in a half-court offensive game, he's not necessarily the greatest. So, I think he's playing a good amount.
I don't even know that I would want him shooting more threes with the way that his game goes, because I don't know how many personal fouls he's drawing compared to how many he's actually getting on himself as he goes to the rim. Like, he might actually have drawn more than 12 fouls, which is what he has personally.
Interesting you bring that up, Aaron. He is 46th in the country in fouls drawn per 40 minutes. So one of the better.
Pretty good.
Huh?
He's a downhill guy. Let him keep attacking.
Yep.
He's fun to watch. Stay out of foul trouble. You see the more minutes. All right. If you could replace one starter, who would it be? Who would be the replacement and why?
I wouldn't.
No.
I think the starting five is exactly what it needs to be. I wouldn't replace one. So even if I could, I wouldn't.
I can't think of anybody that would warrant.
I like the things how they are as currently constructed.
Yep.
All right, and the last question in the mailbag: 2 reasons why we beat Louisville.
We score more points than them.
Flu.
The flu. Oh boy.
You got to hope for a very cold shooting night out of them.
And they're not a great 3-point shooting team. They're good.
Yeah.
They're good. They're not, they're not elite as a shooting team yet.
But they shoot so many.
Yeah.
It's like
it comes in waves.
Yeah.
So run them off the 3-point line and take care of the basketball. Like if you turn it over against them, if there's 16, 17 turnovers,
yeah,
lights out.
Chad, what do you think about slowing the game down? Because I mean,
you can. I think you can try. I don't think you're gonna.
Yeah, because I mean, Louisville's one of the fastest teams in the country. What are they?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, 4th in offensive tempo. So
13.5 seconds per possession.
Yeah,
4th in the country.
Yeah, we're 18th. So I mean, you gotta hope.
The problem.
Go ahead.
The problem is, you're probably right that I don't know that that's what you want to do is just run up and down the floor with them.
Right.
Like, what's the genesis of wanting to run up and down the floor, right? You're more talented. You're more athletic.
Yeah.
You want to put the other team in peril because your team has an advantage in size, length, athleticism. That ain't going to be the case Friday night. So
Louisville will be like, "Oh, you want to play this game? This is
right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do what we want to do? All right.
But
let's go.
I mean, if Cincy makes like 45 to 50% of their threes, and then like it's just like a dogfight in the final 10 minutes, then yeah, it's kind of just it'll be a toss up. But man, if it's just like an avalanche in the beginning of the game, like if they played like Kentucky, like against Kentucky when they went up 20 in the first half, it'll be like extremely difficult to claw back.
Yeah. True that.
Flu. That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
The bus gets a flat tire on the way up 71.
Yeah. Oh, we could actually schedule that to happen.
Oh man, the things that come out of your mouth sometimes.
Zach Tobler joined us on the podcast tonight, guys. The man, the myth, the legend. Great chatting with Zach. He's got great insight, and a big football fan too. I think he brought some good points of view on that one as well. So shouts to Zach for joining us, of course. Shouts to Danco Transmission Auto Care joining us. The man, Danco Joe, love you. Shouts to Greg Hooden, mailbag man. Love me some Greg. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. They provide our timestamps, but massive games this weekend. Just a huge weekend. A go at it. Hey, huge opportunity. Not much else other than that. Louisville, Friday night, BYU, Saturday night, BCJ. We'll have coverage of that all throughout the week, so make sure you lock in. But for my guys, for the crew, for the squad, for Chad Brendel, for Aaron Smith, for Ryan Royer, you're out there somewhere. I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.